Sean Meyers joined by Doug Kelly, the head coach of the Penn-Trafford boys basketball team as they embark in the Class 5A postseason. And first off, Doug, congrats on getting to the postseason. I would say a pretty impressive regular season for your squad. You finished with a mark of 8-6 out of 5A Section 1. How did you evaluate how the regular season went, and how important was it for this team to get into the playoffs?
Sure. I mean, we wanted to continue. We'd love to take another step, but it's always, a grind to get there. It's not easy. Anybody who's coaches knows that, or players know that. Overall, very pleased with how we're playing now. Left some out there, obviously, puts us in this position to a top 4 seed and top 2 seed in this case, and Baldwin, really well coached, and Coach Ackerman, just really skilled guys. But I like where we are. I like where we're playing. But yeah, we certainly left some games out there, that put us in this position. So Road Warriors, and real big challenge.
Well, you played in a lot of very close games that came down to the wire. Some went your favor. A couple of near buzzer beaters, including against Greater Latrobe. You also had an overtime loss against Gateway. Is it a benefit to play in so many close competitive games that come down to maybe a single possession, because oftentimes that's how postseason basketball is played?
Sure. I mean, as a coach, you're practicing 20-second situations, 1-minute situations in the quarter, in a game. Most of us are doing that during the season. But, when you get put in those situations, in a game situation, certainly guys got to perform, got to have to execute. I think it can be beneficial. But again, it all starts, I think, just with practices. And, do you practice those types of situations and put your kids hopefully in a better situation when it comes down to that they can perform? And sometimes we have, sometimes we haven't. Pretty imperfect game. What I like is how we've battled, and I probably have never had more fun with a group of guys than this year.
Well, I would say that there's some teams that maybe have 1 or 2 star players. You probably have 10 or 11 or even 12 guys that could be your best player in any given game. And I know guys like Feldman have been kind of steady forces, and Stone has had some highlight moments. But the depth of your team, how has that really served as a benefit? And what do you like most about having so many capable guys that you could put on the floor?
Yeah, I think just as a coach, when I came back to being a head coach, one of the things I want to do is play more guys, try to keep more guys engaged. I mean, certainly it would also be a nice situation as a head coach that you had 7 or 8 guys that clearly were your best. And, a lot of people play 7 or 8. However, multiple sport guys and managing that. And I love our multiple sport guys. So we have a lot of guys that some do this pretty well, do this, they're a little weaker in this area. But what they've all done right up into senior night, where Derek Carr got more minutes, maybe looked stupid, like I should have been playing anymore. Just played an outstanding game, high energy, rebounded, decision-making. So the fact that we do play those guys, and it is a possibility that one of them could, step up in a big situation. And who knows? I said to our guys, I'm hoping that's what happens. Maybe that's what happens here in this first round and in a run to a WPIAL championship, is other guys, certain guys start stepping up to help us out, whether it be point production, defensive stopper, rebounding the basketball, good decision maker, making foul shots, whatever it is. I think as a program, it is good playing 10 to 11 guys and keeping more guys engaged. But certainly what we see a lot of is 7 or 8 really solid guys around our section, and a lot of teams that play that many guys. But I like our rotations. Coaches do a nice job of rotating guys, and different guys have stepped out. I think a big thing was having Boss at the point guard. That got Stone off the ball a little bit this year for us. I think he benefited from that, and therefore we benefited as well.
You finished 4th place in the section, 13-9 overall on the season. So you get the number 15 seed, and that means a matchup against 2nd seeded Baldwin, which you mentioned. How did that seeding align, and how did the opponent align with what maybe you had anticipated?
Yeah, again, we didn't get it done in the regular season. I mean, I feel like we're playing well at the right time, but I don't have any problems with the seed and with their decisions. We knew that we're going to get a top seeded team, and it's going to take an incredible effort. They're going to be well coached. like I said, high skilled guys. And I'm sure they're looking at their game here. They had just beaten Mount Lebanon the night before when they came here to Penn-Trafford. So I'm sure they're thinking, that wasn't their best effort. And from our standpoint, it's another opportunity. I told our guys, we don't get a lot of respect out here, and there's a reason. It's because we haven't done anything. We haven't beat top level teams. So until we start doing that and doing it consistently, then we're not going to get respect. But this is another opportunity, and I'm hoping our guys will accept it, and I think they will.
You mentioned you played the Highlanders earlier this season, just a 5-point loss, but that was in early December. How much can you take from that, and how much of a challenge do they present, especially considering the fact that they got to a championship in 6A a year ago?
Yeah, Coach Ackerman, obviously, he's won a ton of games, ton of championships, and he's a heck of a coach. They can beat you different ways. Obviously, they can shoot it. They can also pull it out and make you chase them with some good screens, just really good ball handlers. They got a post kid that's really solid. So, I think they're a team. They could beat you in different ways with different scores, and that's the way he's been. He's had teams that were scoring 70 points a game. He could also smack you in a 40 to 45 game, whatever it takes. I think that's the kind of coach he is, and that's why he's a winning coach. So, again, it's a challenge for us. And to go to their gym, again, we've played well on the road, Sean. The last 3 years, to the point where we've been better on the road than at home. So I'm hoping some of the road victories we've had, that will prove beneficial also.
Well, Doug, congrats on getting to the postseason, and good luck in this opening round matchup, and hopefully going forward as well.
Thanks, Sean.